So when we're talking about disk partitioning last week, we talked about why we are doing the partitioning. And we learned that when we purchase a new disk from the market, or sometimes for an existing disk, we can do the partitioning process. Generally, we are partitioning a particular hard disk or a storage when we are purchasing it very freshly from the market. So partitioning will allow the hard disk to identify what are the logical dividends, or like the logically dividing blocks inside the physical hard disk. So it is not physically divided in the disk, it is divided logically. So due to that, you will be seeing these kind of drivers, right, when it comes to the my computer or this PC icons, right? So these are called the partitions. In other words, later we are going to refer them as the drivers, the C drive and the D drive. So anyway, these are the logical portions or the logical spaces which are being allocated or which have been partitioned on your hard disk, right? So this doesn't mean you are having two different hard disks in your computer. It's just one physical hard disk in your computer, and those are divided into two. And again, if your computer has the ability of fixing more than one particular hard disk, still all the things will be shown over here. But like just by looking into this, we can't recognize how many hard disks are there in your computer. But we can surely say it is being logically partitioned into these particular points or these particular portions, right? And we learn about what happens when the partitioning has happened. And then we learn about partitioning is just not enough to store the data. Once we partition, then we have to format our disk, right? So formatting will inform or will give the details to the hard disk, what kind of a files that it can contain. So I told you there are many different kinds of formats that we can introduce, NTFS, FAT kind of formats. So once it is being formatted, then we will be having the chance, or we will be having the opportunity to store the data, our own data. Just by partitioning it, we won't be able to save it, right? So if you just do the partitioning, it won't be actually seen on your My Computer, under My Computer icon, or under device and drives, right? Once you format it clearly, then only you will be able to see a different portion, or like some portion like this on the operating system. Until your partitioning has not been formatted, it won't show you something like this on your screen, right? So we partition a disk, we format it. Once we format it, we will be able to store the data on it, right? So when we are storing the data, when the computer, when we ask the operating system to store the data, operating system will use many different techniques to store data. And in most of the cases, it will store the data on the disk in different places, right? So because of this scattered storage mechanism, it will create some empty clusters on the hard disk. We call this situation the fragmentation. To avoid the fragmentation, or to reduce the fragmentation, we use the technique called defragmentation, right? So this was the one that I was asking you to write down last week, right? I have sent you the notes as well, right? So once we execute the defragmentation process, these scattered data files, or like these scattered clusters all around the hard disk, will be gathered together, and the free space will be gathered another side, right? So you will see the left-hand side disk is showing you how, like what happened when the fragmentation effects, right? So the data, the dark blue color portion is spread all over the disk. And after the defragmentation, you can see the places or the clusters which contains the data. Yes, Susu, that is very nice. Right, so yeah, you can have that. So the portion, the clusters which is having data on it are being gathered to a one single place, or like a contiguous manner. Contiguous කියලා කියන්නේ අපි එක ළඟ තියෙනවා කියලා කියනවා, right? Contiguous manner, and the other data, or like the other free space, is there to store the things in an accordingly manner, right? So disk defragmentation, remember, it will rearrange the fragmented data into a one particular space, right? So the reading of a particular data, referring of a particular data will be more efficient, right? That we can understand that clearly. මෙහෙම තැන් වල තියෙනකොට hard disk එක එක තැන් වලට කරකවන්න ඕනේ, කරකවල තමයි head එකට ගිහිල්ලා read කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ. But when they are like staying together, it will be very easy for them to read. Right? Okay, now after that, we are going to talk about the file system, right? So how, like, or what is helping us to store our file in a computer, right? So when it comes to the file systems, file system is the one which allows us to create these folders and save our files and category our files into different kinds of places, right? So partitioning will help us to category our files in a one specific way, or in a basic manner. And again, when it comes to the file system, inside a particular partition, we can create different kinds of folders, and we can arrange our files in a more detailed manner for us to be referred for the further usages, right? So what we are going to do is, what we are doing is, when we are having a storage device, we just create the things, we just create the folders to store different categorized files into those folders. So it will be very easy for us to access. Like as an example, if we want to store the music or the song files, we will create a folder called song and store it right in there, right? And when we are having our own documents, we can create a folder called document, and we can store those things in that particular place. And if you consider about the Windows Explorer, the window, with the Windows operating system, they are given certain places to store our data in a arranged manner, right? So like here I got download folders in my download folder, documents are there, pictures are there, right? So likewise, I can increase the things, or like increase the categories if I want, or else I can move to a particular drive, and then in that drive, I can create different kinds of folders according to my need, right? And I can store the details there. So as an example, all my ICT related details are in this ICT folder, right? And there are many different folders according to my needs, right? So it's much better if you arrange your details using a folder structure, so it will be very easier for you to find when you need something to be found, right? Okay, so when we are storing the files with the help of this file system, a particular file has two components majorly. Now, before that, the very important thing that you need to understand, in the operating system, there are two types of things which we call the folders and the files. So first you have to understand what is a folder. Folder is kind of a container, right? It can contain the things. So files are the things which is made by lots of application programs, right? Not only by the application programs, it will create by the programs installed into it, right? So we use folders to category our detail, and files will contain the details, or contain the data that we have created, right? So if you take a look at a file name, you can see there are two important parts in a file name. Some of your computers may not show these two parts, right? But in my computer, I'll show you how that happens, right? Now, this particular file, which I call the color test print, right? Let me, let me take something onto the top, otherwise placing on the bottom will going to give you a problem. Hold on a second. Yeah. So if you think about this grade 10 practical file, now this is a file, right? The component that we can see in this yellow color is called the folder. So in the operating system, it gives us a preview whether that folder is being filled with some documents or not. If it is not filled with any document, it will show as an empty folder. Now, this folder, these folders, they are filled with some content. Now, I'm referring to these files in my computer, right? Now, this file contains a name. Can you see? It's G10 practical.docx. Now, if you look this closely, right, the name of this file contains two important things, right? So the one which is highlighted over here, this is called the name of the file, right? So that name can be any name given by us, right? And after there is a dot and some other part. Now, this particular part, docx, is called the extension, right? In your operating system, in your computer, sometimes you may not see this extension, just the file name you may see, right? I'll tell you why that is, right? And Tesandu, we haven't wrote anything. We are just describing the things, right? So the first thing that you need to understand, file contains two components, which is the file name and the extension. And file name and the extension is separated by a dot, right? So as I told you, some of your computers may not show this particular file name as it is, like with the extension. In most of the computers, it will show without the extension, just the name. Now, there is an option or there is a setting that we can change to see the extension of a particular file, as well as the same option can be used to hide the particular extension, right? Now, when it comes to here, in Windows 10 operating system that I'm talking about, Windows 10 operating system, there are particular tabs at the top of the Windows Explorer window, right? Let me get rid of the magnifier for you to show it generally. Here, we can find some tabs, right? Now, you can see this tab view starting from Windows 8, Windows Explorer. So before that, they had menus, not the tabs, right? So if you go to this view tab, there is a particular place called show and hide, a particular group called show and hide. Can you see this? This is the group name, show and hide. So there are different kinds of things. Item checkboxes is there, file name extension is there, hidden items are there, hide selected items are there. There are a lot of options there. So in that list, you can find this option, file name extension. Now, can you see that I have put a tick in front of it? So if I get rid of this tick, clicking on that will get rid of that tick, right? So when I'm clicking this on, my small tick will disappear, and you may concentrate what happens to the name of this file, right? So here I'm going and take away my tick. from here. Yeah, what happened? Look at it. Now it's only G10 practicals is there, right? No extensions is being shown. All right. And again, if I want to see the extension, I can go to the view tab. I can go to the show and hide group. I can place the tick in front of here, file name extension. So it will again start to show the extension, right? And it's better we can see the extension of a particular file because it will, in some particular points, it will help us to identify some viruses. Like there was a virus called Exe virus, right? So where it creates a lot of Exe folders here and there. Now, when you have a particular, when we are using this particular option, if the virus is being infected with the folders, right? These folders will show an extension as well. Right? Generally, folders does not have any extension. Make a folder extensions now, right? But the files have that. But if a virus, or like specifically the exe virus, is infected with your computer, you can see an extension with the folders as well. So like starlabs.exe kind of things, right? That is a kind of a virus. Right, so because of that, it's better you have the extension with its file name. And again, extension help us to have an idea about what kind of a file is this, right? So here, from the icon, I can understand actually this is going to be a Word document, as well as like if I only see the name, still I can figure this out. Grade 10 practical DOCX. Yeah, people, just a second. Had to answer this call. Yeah, sorry for that, people. I had to interact with that. Okay. Ravindu, I was excusing to answer a call. That's what was happening. Right. So as we talk here, so a particular file name is having two components, which is the file name and the extension. And I showed you how the extension can be hide and how it can be displayed, right? And again, regarding any kind of a file or a folder, we can find the details regarding that particular component. To see those things, we have to right click on the file, and on the right click menu, we have to find the properties. So properties will be displayed at the bottom of the particular menu, the right click menu. Once I click on that properties window, it will give properties menu item. It will give us a small property window. Now this property window is regarding this particular file, grade 10 practicals file. So it shows what's the name of the file, what's the type of the file, right? And which program has been used to open this, what is the location of this file, right? And what is the size of this file? And there is something called size on the disk, right? So size on the disk means now visibly this file gives us 12 KB size, and size on the disk means when we are storing, when the operating system store in a file, it stores some other details regarding the file which cannot seen by us. It is only for the reference of the operating system, right? So with that, it will acquire some additional space from the disk. So that is why size of the file and size on the disk are showing you two different sizes, right? And again, these dates, the first date indicates when it was created. The next date indicates when it was being modified. And the last date indicates when it is being accessed, right? So it shows this is being accessed 12 minutes ago today, right? And modified means I have to open that file and do some changes. That has happened on Friday, May 21st, 2021, 6:41. So that means the created date, right? So it is the same date which is being created. Yeah, Ravindu, not all the things that are being downloaded is going to show you the exe. There are different kinds of files that can show their own extensions, right? So what are those different kind of files? I'll show you some of the different kinds of files, right? Now, if you take this grade 10 practical file, its extension is .docx. And if you look into this, look at this, it has the extension called .jpg. It is because it is an image. And this, it has the extension of PDF, right? So likewise, according to the particular software that you are using to create this file, will give their own extension to that particular file, right? So if you use a word processing software like MS Word, if you create a file from MS Word, it will save with docx extension. If you create a file with Excel, it will give you the extension .xslx, right? If you create a PowerPoint presentation, it will show you the extension as .pptx. Likewise, the software which we use to create the file will define or will determine what kind of extension that this file is going to have, right? And again, more importantly, remember, folders will not have any extensions, right? Okay, is that clear, people, so far? Yeah, or sit me, I'll show you another way of showing and hiding the extension. The one we discussed earlier was this door. We have to go to the view tab this is happening only like starting from the Windows 8 operating system onward. Go to the view file, view tab, I'm sorry, and you have to move to the show and hide group, and you have to click on this tick in front of the file name extension. Now, if the checkbox is being ticked, that means you can see the extension. If you ticked out, the extension will be hidden, right? So if you want to see it again, you can visit there and click on the file name extension. So it will have that little tick in front of it. So you will be able to see the extension again, right? In other operating systems, you can find this option command from your menus right over here, right? So find the option command. On the option, there is something called change folder and search options. So once you click on that, you will be getting a particular window, something like this. So there you have to visit the view tab. It has a different tab called view. So under the view tab, you are given different kinds of selections. Be very careful with this, right? So here you can find something like this, hide extension for known file types, right? So if you click on that, the extension will be hidden. If you take out the tick in front of it, so then you will see the extension. Now this particular option is there to hide the extension of the known file types. Now if I check this and if I press apply, in my computer now it is showing me the extension. Once I press apply, you can't see the extension. It's only the file name. Later, you can go to the same place and take this tick off and click apply again. Then you have to say, okay. Oh, it didn't change for some reason. Hold on, let me do that again. I'm going to the view. I'm going to the folder options. I'm taking the change folder options. I'm going to the view tab. I'm going to my thing and I say hide extension for non-file types and I press apply. Yeah, now you can see the extension. Okay, so likewise, you can show and hide your extension on the computer, right? Okay, let's move to the book and see how these things are happening, right? Yeah, here this shows you how to hide and how to show and hide the file extension in another way. They are talking about going to the start button, going to the control panel, going to the folder option, view, likewise, right? Like from the start button, you have to, from the start button, you have to find the control panel. So going to the control panel, they are saying to find the folder options. And if I take large icons, my folder options is here, File Explorer options in the Windows 10. Right, so it gives me the same window we saw earlier, right? So from the view, they are saying the same place. Click on the hide extension for known file types, then apply and OK. Will hidden it or will show the things according to the choice that you have given. Okay, people, is that clear up to this point? So these are some general stuff that we should know when we are doing, like when we are using a particular operating system. Yeah, PDF, that is stand for the portable document format, right? PDF stands for portable document format, right? Likewise, not every extension is going to be, can be extracted likewise. Then DOCX කියලා තියෙන්නේ. කලින් එක තිබුණේ DOC කියලා. Document කියන එක කෙටියෙන් දාලා තිබුණේ DOC. With the new version, it becomes docx, right? So unlike PDF, docx එකේ D අකුරටයි O අකුරටයි C අකුරටයි X අකුරටයි එහෙම දිග හැරීමක් නැහැ. But PDF stands for portable document format, right? Okay, so that is how the show and hiding of the file extension. And here we talk about these things, different kinds of file names and file extensions are there. And we get to know that dot is used to separate both the file name and the extension from each other, right? So here they have introduced you some file extension and the file types, right? So exe, we call an executable type. It's like, let me show you a exe one. Yeah, Udamya, ACCDB is for the Microsoft Access, which is the last lesson of ours, right? Where we are going to use that, right? So with this particular file types, we talk about this docx, slxs, pptx, accdb, right? For Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Access. Yet the PowerPoint and Access need to be done, right? And the exe file, the executable file. Now, it is very, exe file is unique for the Windows operating system. You won't find any exe file in the Macintosh operating system, that means Apple computers, or inside the Linux operating systems. They got a different kind of extensions for those. Here in the Windows, the exe means executable, can be executed, right? So if you go to your C drive, you can find many different exe files over there, right? So if I move to the C and into the program files, right? So let's take something we have done already. Yeah, hold on. There is a shortcut to reach an exe file. I can right click on this and I can ask to open the file location. And here, if I go to the file location, yeah, can you see? Now this is the winword.exe. Now this is used to start the Word document, right? So whenever you are double clicking on a Word document, this is the file that executes, right? First this is execute, then it loads your document onto that program, right? So when you need to execute the Excel, as I remember, it was there as well. Let me go to the Excel. It's a very long way, people. Oh yeah, here it comes. See? So this is the Excel exe, right? So whenever you are starting the program Excel, this is the file that is being executed. So what we can see on our start menu, if we say Word, we will be seeing something like this. So this is a shortcut or a link to that particular exe. So once I click this, it actually executes the WinWord file right over here, right? Where is this word? There you go. This is the one which is being executed, right? So it is always a link that we are clicking when we are opening things from the program files, right? Okay, so that is what we call the executable files, right? And as I showed you, using the properties command in the right click menu, we can take this kind of a window, and inside that we can find these type of details on that property window, right? Okay, so here, these are some practical stuff, people. So when we are like writing down the things, we will be writing things in a very summarized format, since those are practical ones, right? Here, something that you know, selecting a location to save a file, right? You know this already, right? So when we are saving things, we save things on a particular drive, like I showed to you in the File Explorer. You can see there are 2 drives in my computer. So whatever that I'm going to save in these 2 things, right? Sometimes you may feel that we are saving in a lot of places in the computer, like this 3D object, desktop, documents, all these things are inside the C drive, right? Here that they are just helping us to go to the specific place in a quicker manner. But at the end of the day, whatever we are saving either on C drive or on D drive. That means in shorter form, whenever we are saving anything, it's literally saved onto our hard disk, right? But the operating system has some... not now, so. Not now, after the class. I will take you to the window there. Huh? Right, so whenever we are saving anything, literally it's saved to the hard disk, and operating system will show some other facilities, other shortcuts, other links to access some particular places in a quicker manner, right? So what you have to remember is anything that we are saving, it is in the C entry. Now, even if we think about the desktop, right now, if you think about my desktop contains these kind of icons. So that place can be achieved from C. So here I double click on my C drive. I'm in my C drive, right? I'm going to the users and I'm going to the public as I remember, right? Hold on. Yeah, in the users, here's the desktop, right? So what is the place that I am? I'm inside the C users, user desktop. That is the place that I am for the moment from this window. So these are the things, these are the icons which showed over here, right? So you can you see and can you capture any difference in between these and these? Something is missing here. What is missing here in this window? This is my same desktop that is being showed, right? And some of the icons are here as well. But one thing is missing in here. What's the missing item? Yes, Sudame, it's the recycle bin. Yes, yes. Right. So remember, this desktop is going to show you only the shortcuts and the files, not the recycle bin over here. Because recycle bin, again, it is here inside the C, but located in somewhere else, right? So we are double click on this, the recycle bin. It means we are like going to a place inside the C drive, which is allocated for recycle bin specifically. So recycle bin is not resides on the desktop, right? So that is why you cannot see the recycle bin when you come to the desktop folder. Okay, so if you are saving anything, right, using a particular program, if I take something like Word, right, I'll show you something interesting. There is something called GIMP, or we call it GIMP as well, right? Now we are going to learn this on grade 11, right? Yes, Ositmi. Recycle bin use the storage from the C drive, right? But it resides on a different place too, not on the desktop, right? Why we can see the recycle bin on the desktop? It is providing us a shortcut to go easy into the recycle bin, right? Okay, now what I'm showing you is the GIMP. This is the photo editing software or the graphic editing software that we are going to learn in grade 11 under the multimedia lesson, right? So I can take a new file and do all the editings over here. Then when I'm go and saving this, see this window this window here, it takes me the places that is inside my computer. See, the C and D drives are here. So whatever I'm going to save, I can save it here. Even if I save something on the desktop, now we know we are going to save that thing on the C drive, right? So whenever you are going to save it, so you choose the drive. If you want to save it in a different location, like if I use it on D and inside this, let's say I'm going to save it in the ICT folder. So I choose it. Then I'm going to give the specific name over here. And you can see this program is given an extension called XCF, right? So I can give a particular name from here, then I can hit the button. So I'll save this as grade 10 EX. And I'm going to press the save button. Then I can close this. If I move to my this particular D drive, inside my D drive, inside the ICT folder, I can find the file that I have saved. It is called grade10ex.xcf, right? So that is how a particular file is being saved, by searching or by giving a specific place in your computer. Yeah, there are a lot of questions regarding this. Yeah, the name of the software is GIMP. Ravindu, GIMP is not something similar to the Scratch. Scratch is a programming language, Buddha. GIMP is a graphic editing software. Yeah, Tesandu, eka Photoshop wage. Photoshop kiyane ka hala tiyena neda? Yeah, Pehara, PY is for Python. Yes. So you people know some things about some programs, right? So yes. So Tesandu, it is a graphic editing software. You can edit photos and all these things, do the graphic editing part. From this, we are not going to learn the graphic editing up to the professional point in grade 11. We are just starting it, right? So that's all, right? Udamya, for PHP file extensions, it's .php dua. Like PHP stands for hypertext preprocessor, right? Eka HPP කියලා නෙවෙයි උනාට ඒගොල්ලෝ කියන්නේ PHP කියලා. Hypertext preprocessor කියන එක තමයි PHP කියන එකෙන් එන්නේ. Tesandu, not now. If you really want to see how we are going to work with that, you can find the videos in my website, right? Go to the starlabs.lk, right? Api grade 11 karapu lessons තියෙනවා. So go to the starlabs recording. ඔගලන්ගේ recordings ටිකත් මෙතන තියෙන්නේ grade 10 කට්ටියක. You know about this, right? So in grade 11 sessions, somewhere here මේ තියෙන්නේ from the yeah, we were starting from here. Yes, on this the 11th, you can find the details here. So if you go through this, you can see මෙතන ඉඳලා ඒ lesson එක කරන විදිය සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම තියෙනවා, right? So you can surf and learn. We are going to do it in grade 11 anyway, but if you are really interested of that, doing things before we go to the grade 11, you got the video lessons. Go and search. Yes, Pehara, definitely different programming language. Not only the programming languages, different programs will give you different extensions, right? Udamya, microbit is a hardware kind of a thing. To program the microbit, we use Scratch programming, right? තව ඒවයින් අපිට program කරන්න පුළුවන්. We generally use Scratch. So once we do the programming with Scratch, we can send that Scratch programming into the microbit, right? Ravindu, are you referring to the GIMP? GIMP is a free and open source software, Buddha. You can just search, like just saying download GIMP. So it will give you the official website. It's a free and open source software, so anyone can download it without paying for it. So then you can use it. No problem with it. Yeah, Tesandu, we have to download it and take to Buddha. Yes, we have to. And GIMP is a software that I can recommend. You won't be getting anything, but be sure to download it from the official website. Official website is www.gimp.org. Right? Don't go for the other websites. They may contain some malware programs, right? So this is gimp.org, www.gimp.org. So from there you can download the web version. Right, so you don't need to download it from via BitTorrents. You can download it directly and you can get installed those things. Ravidu, Windows 11 is not yet confirmed to be stable. There were some user errors. Some menus are not working. Some things are there. It is natural when a new version of Windows been introduced. It takes time to get a stable version. So I am waiting to have a stable version, right? Otherwise it will be a really headache if it is not really working with me, right? Okay, so we get to know about the drives, right? So CDE. Now, how these CDE drives are being created? It is due to the partitioning, people. You can remember that, right? We were partitioning into the our hard disk into different portions. So then we are going to have the letters for those, right? So it's usually starting from C. So C, D, E, likewise, it will continue, right? So here in this picture, you can see there are 3 partitions for this hard disk, which is C, D, and E. Even you can see how much of data like filled into these partitions, right? So the C drive, it has 18.8 gigabytes free. And in D drive, it has 3.7 gigabytes free. And in E drive, it has 1.31 gigabytes free, right? And you can see some other letters as well. Those are indicating the removable storages, right? So the DVD writer, DVD drive, right? So DVD writer is helping you to write the DVDs, right? Even you can play the DVDs from there as well. DVD drive is something that we can use only to play the DVDs, not to write things. And this removable disk, these can be a pen drive, can be a micro SD card, those kind of things, right? So even those are given particular letters. Can you see? So DVD rewritable drive is given the letter F. DVD drive is given the letter G. This is given the letter K, right? So likewise, right? So you can have, actually the operating system denotes different kinds of letters to these drivers. So when we are referring to the drivers, we always refer from that letter. C drive එක බලන්න, D එක බලන්න, E එක බලන්න. We are not going to say local disk C එක බලන්න. We are not going to refer like that, right? Okay, so I don't think these things need to be introduced to you, but since it is there in the book, I'll just go through, right? Creating a folder, you know how to create a folder. You can right click on the desktop or anywhere that you want. From the right click menu, you can create many different things. So folder is the first one of it, right? So you can create a folder. I'll use the desktop for this. You can create a folder from the right click menu on the desktop, right? Or else when it comes to the particular window, right? If you just open a Windows Explorer and let's say you are in the D drive, let me do it from the large icons. Okay, if you want to create a folder here, still you got the chance of creating a folder, right clicking and going to the new and creating a folder. So once you create a folder, it asks for a name. So you can type any different name. I'll type grade 10. and you can press enter to have that particular name confirmed to the folder. If you want to rename it, you can right click on it and you can choose the rename option and you can give a different name, right? So you can click and drag here and there. These things that you know about these things. Even inside a folder, you can create different kinds of subfolders as well. It can give again some other names as well, right? So I don't think these are something new for you, right? Since you are like in touch with the computer for a very long time, right? And you can move these things in the way that you want. Yeah, I'll come to that, Tesandu. You are talking about the Windows button on the keyboard, right? Yeah, right. Okay, right. Okay, I'll come to that. Right. So and again, you can copy a particular component by right clicking and copying, right? Or you can use the shortcut key called Control and C from your keyboard, right? And you can paste it anywhere you want. Now my G9 folder was inside here. I can come out of my folder and I can right click and paste the G9 folder here, or otherwise I can use the shortcut key called Control and V. So it will be pasted over here, right? So my G9 is here as well as my G9 folder is now here. The copy of it is here, right? If I rename this, I can rename it just by clicking on its name, and it will give me the facility to rename it. So I'll take it as grade 9 and press enter. And I can move this folder or a particular file just by clicking and moving into a folder. So all you have to do is just click the folder and take it onto another folder. So it will move inside it. Even a tooltip is given to you, move to G10, right? Or else you can cut it, right click and cut it. Or you can use the shortcut key Control and X, right? And you can paste it anywhere you want. So once you paste it, it will be permanently moved from this particular place. Now I cut the G9 folder. You can see there is a clear difference in between the other folders and the G9 folder. So it is like color shade watermark. Now I open the G10 and I paste it over here. I can paste it using right click and paste, or I can use Control and V to paste it, right? So the grade 9 folder is here now. Now, if you go up, you can go up on the hierarchy just by clicking on this up arrow. Now you can't find any grade 9 folder over here because it's been moved. Api move karnawa kiyanne ehemai cut and paste karot wenne move wene, right? Copy and paste karot, it's not been moved. It is just taking a copy of it, right? Yeah, Tesandu, paste in a copy of the grade 9 folder. You can just copy it, Buddha. You are not cutting it. You just take a copy, right? It is there in the right click menu. Just copy, don't cut. Have a copy. So grade 9 will be here as it is. So when you go out and if you paste it, you will be given a grade 9 copy. So still in here, the grade 9 folder is there. Here it creates a copy of it, right? So that is what you call copy and paste, cut and paste, right? So you better remember the shortcuts. They are highly tested in your examinations, right? So you can copy using Control C, using right click menu, as well as you can do, as they say here, go to the edit menu and you can use the copy as well. I'll show you how those things can be done. So it doesn't matter whether you copy or cut the particular one, the other part or the other step needs to be pasted, right? So pasting can be done. Go to the edit menu and select in the paste, or Control V, or right click and select the paste, right? So now what is this edit menu? Edit menu is somewhere here, right? So if I select this in the home, now my edit menu is right over here. It has copy, paste, cut, and all these things, right? So you can do the same thing which we have done earlier from these three tools as well. But frequently, we are either using the right click menu or using the keyboard shortcut. So Control C for copy, Control V for paste, Control X for cut. So if you look into your keyboard, you can find X, C, V, all three keys are staying together, right? So remember that. Control C is for copy, Control V is for pasting, Control X is for cutting, right? Okay, so yeah, so finally I have to talk about how to delete a folder and what's happened when it is being deleted, right? So you know what happens when it is being deleted. So to do the deletion, first I need to clear my recycle bin, because my recycle bin contains a lot of files. Hold on. Let me delete the things from here to here. Right? Yeah, I wanted to show something in here as well. Now, once I double click on my recycle bin, this is my recycle bin. So when something moves to the recycle bin, when you delete something, it will move to the recycle bin, right? So as an example, if I delete this grade 9 folder, right? So it is gone from here. You can see it's in the recycle bin now, right? See, the grade 9 folder comes here. So whenever a particular file is moved to the recycle bin, if you are going to delete it from the recycle bin as well, I select the grade 9 here and press delete. So it will be given a particular message saying, are you sure you want to permanently delete this folder? Why they are asking this? Once we delete it from the recycle bin, there is no getting it back, right? So if you say yes, it will be deleted forever. If you say no, it will be there in this recycle bin, but there is no point of keeping the data inside the recycle bin for a long time, right? Sometimes we will delete things temporarily and we will keep the things for a certain amount of period. Now, if you think about my recycle bin, I deleted all the recordings that I am doing for the classes. Now, the oldest recording or the oldest file that I have deleted is recorded on October 10th, right? Then that was විස්සකට කලින් delete කරපු එකක් මෙතන තියෙනවා. Like periodically, I am getting rid of these things, right? So now I'm going to get rid of this big list of things, right? So 84 items are being selected, right? Now I'm going to press delete button. So it is asking, are you sure you want to delete these things permanently? These 84 items. Now, if I say yes, so those will be deleted, right? So I won't be able to take it again, right? And in case if you delete a file, once it moves to the recycle bin, there is a way that you can restore the deleted file as well. But to do the restoring part, the file must be inside the recycle bin. Otherwise, you won't be able to restore it. So as you can remember, I had this grade 9 folder in this particular place. Now it is not there. Now it is in the recycle bin. So if I right click on this and pick restore, choose restore, it will restore to the place where it was when it is being deleted, right? It will be restored to the place where it was when it is being deleted, right? So here I choose the restore and you will see it will disappear from this place and it will be shown on this place again, right? So here I'm restoring. Yeah, here it comes. Grade 9 is here. If I delete it again, it goes here, right? So likewise, you can restore the file if you can find the file in your recycle bin. Now, when you are deleting a file, there is a way that you can delete a file without moving this file into the recycle bin, but you have a way you can delete the file permanently from your computer, right? So when you permanently delete the file, it won't move into the recycle bin, but it will be deleted forever from your computer. So how you are going to do that? You have to select the folder that you are going to delete. So for your reference, I'm going to delete this grade 9 folder. All right, so I select the folder. Then from the keyboard, I am pressing the shift key and the delete key. Once I do a shift delete, I press the shift key, then I press the delete key. Then it's going to delete permanently. So for that reason, the permanent deletion message will be shown to me and ask the question, are you sure you want to permanently delete this folder? So if I press yes, it will be permanently deleted. I won't be able to find it in the recycle bin. It is gone forever, right? If I say yes, so it is gone, right? And if I delete, just press the delete button here, or you can right click and choose the delete. In any of the cases, you are going to find that particular deleted file inside the recycle bin. Okay, people, is that clear? These are some simple practical things that you have to learn regarding the operating system. Yes, everyone? Right, great, well done. Okay, let's quickly copy the important stuff to your books, right? So get ready. We are going to write some things, right? So let's start from introduction to the file system, right? Hold on. Yeah, Tesandu, about the Windows button. Now, Tesandu, I can use the Windows button to take the starting menu, right? Mouse එක ගන්න නැතුව window button එක click කරාම my start menu pops out, right? And if I press Windows button and the plus mark, I can activate my magnifier, right? And I press Windows and escape, I can exit from my magnifier, right? So likewise, we can use the Windows button for several different things, right? So if you search in the internet, shortcut with Windows button, then you will see there are many different things that you can do using the Windows button, right? Got it, Tesandu? Right. So meanwhile, what are we going to write now? Hold on. Okay. Yeah. You may write the heading, Introduction to File System. And you may copy starting from here and up to this point. Okay, quickly copy it down, people. We have to finish with this lesson today. Let me know when you are done, people. Okay, one is done. Okay. Is there anyone still writing the note? All right. Keep writing, keep writing. Right, are we done? Can we move forward? Right. Yes. Anyone who is still writing this? Okay, good. So like after the paragraph, you have to draw this particular thing, people. So you don't need to draw the exactly same thing, right? Just draw this. Sukita, when we are refreshing the computer, it generally helps the memory to figure out which particular programs that we are really using. Right? ඒක හරියට නිකන් අර මේ අපිට අපි දැන් රස්නේ තැනක ඉන්නකොට අපිට දාඩිය දානකොට අපි අතින් පවන් ගහනවානේ. නේද? ඒකෙන් අපි කරන්නේ පොඩ්ඩක් අපි ඒ සබ් වෙන එක. right? නැත්තම් ඕක දාඩිය එළියට ඇවිල්ලා වාෂ්ප වෙලා දාඩිය ටික අපෙන් පිට වෙලා යනවා සාමාන්‍ය විදිහට. හැබැයි අපි පවන් ගහනකොට ටක් ගාලා දාඩිය ටික වාෂ්ප වෙලා ගිහිල්ලා අපිට පොඩි නේද? පොඩි refresh ගතියක් එනවා. So the same happens to the computer. When we are refreshing, operating system is given a help to identify what kind of process are doing the programs in which kind of status. Right? So memory is getting refreshing now. Okay, now these are the things that I have to do and these are the things that I'm going on. Operating system generally helps to maintain that, but refreshing is something, a particular help which is given by the user side. Right? So people please draw this and name file name and extension, as well as it's better you put another arrow to this dot as well. To this dot as well. And write down this part regarding that. Right? So only this part will be sufficient. Huh? Right, let me mark it clearly. Yeah, so you don't need these arrows to be shown. Instead of that, in the same diagram, mark the file name clearly, extension clearly, and the dot. එක ලියනකොට ටිකක් ලොකුවට ලියාගත්තත් කමක් නැහැ. Clearly pain කොටස් දෙකක් තියෙනවා කියන්නේ. Let me know when you are done, people. Okay, one is done. How about the others?
Done, sir.
Okay. Is there anyone still doing this? All right. So let's move forward. All right. So in the latter part, I want you to copy this table. Right. as well as, yeah. Yeah, it's better you write this part as well. Yeah, copy this as well, people. That will be all for us to copy down, right? So you can copy it down. And yeah, since we got only 5 minutes of time, once you're done with it, let's end the session from here. So it's no point of commencing the PowerPoint just for these 5 minutes. So copy it down, then you can leave the session, no worries. By next week, we are going to start the PowerPoint, and it is a very small lesson, so it won't take much to finish. Maybe the next session will be enough, as I guess, right? And then after we can move to the database lesson as well, right? So you can copy this down, then you can leave the session only for today, all right? So thank you very much. I'll stay until all of you will leave, right? So you can copy this down and then you can leave.